Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you have had a good week. I hope it's been productive, and I hope you're looking forward to an awesome weekend. Welcome Nipa. Hi Riyadh. Good to see our subscribers. Everybody, this is a subscriber chat class. Of course, everyone's welcome to watch. To join the chat, you just have to subscribe to the channel. It's free, it's easy, and it will definitely benefit you. Hi Fuang, hi Angel, Anahita, Romelia, nice to see our members in the class as well. Hi Carolina, good to have all of you with me. Students, in this class we're looking at IELTS listening. We're listening to part 1, part 2 of an IELTS exam. These topics will be on some kind of a campaign and a meeting. You'll find out soon more details on that. The listening material, the listening exam, is coming from aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. aehelp.com is for academic IELTS. gieltshelp.com is for general IELTS. The listening section is the same for the academic and general versions. In fact, academic general IELTS test takers sit together in many cases for the listening section. So you will find 6 full practice exams for the listening on the websites. This is aehelp.com. We will use this in a few moments to listen to the audio. To join our premium IELTS package, click that big red button that's just right above my head there. It's a one-time payment to get all those exams, interactive course, tons of videos, app for your phone, lots more. We're an IDP affiliate, British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. We are world leaders when it comes to IELTS exam preparation. A lot of what we do and show, others follow us after. So for general IELTS, check out gieltshelp.com. It's this big red button there. Bam, right above my head. Okay. Everybody, we'll be back here in a bit to listen to the audio. For now, a little bit more. Genuine 9 will get you a 10% discount. The apps are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. G. Digham, good question. G. Digham says, I took the premium package. How can I start? G. Digham, I'll show you. Okay. Really good way to start. G. Digham, when you have the premium IELTS package, is go to your My Student account. In your My Student account, the third tab, this one here, it's IELTS exams workbook and study plans. Okay, so what you can do is click on that, click on study plans, download the study plan. So there's 2 study plans. One is a 30-day, one is a 60-day study plan. Open up, it's just a simple PDF in this case. So open it up. Let's say you have 30 days for your IELTS exam. Open it up. Okay, there you go. It will tell you what to do on day 1, day 2. So it says day 1, start with the key strategies in the interactive course and go from there. Okay, so follow the study plan. If you have questions, ask me. All right, that's a good question, and I know many of you have the premium package. So also go through the tutorial when you enter the course. It should walk you through the tutorial as well on how to use the website. Okay. All right. Okay, and you can use it on your phone too, right? So lots there, step by step. Okay. All right. If you have questions like Dichman and you don't know what to do or where to go, just send an email. We're always here to help you. Adrian at aehelp.com, admin at aehelp.com. Okay. All right. And of course, we're here in these live classes, and you can even ask us here. Name on, you're very welcome. Okay. Riyadh says, my audio CD hasn't worked yet. That's weird, Riyadh. That seems to be a local issue because we will be using the audio CDs today, and it seems to work for everybody, so I'm not sure what that is. But send an email, Riyadh, and we'll take a look. Okay. All right. So tomorrow we've got speaking, part 2, part 3 for you, and we've always got new videos for you as well. Check those out. when you got a moment. Here's one that we uploaded last week. We've got a new one coming for you. Writing this week. Writing. Okay, there you go. All right. So, hi, Eugen. Long time no see. Those emojis are great. Love it. All right. Okay. Let's get into listening. So, listening strategies. First and foremost, for your listening strategies, use the instruction time to think about your strategies and to review the topics of the listening section. So use the instruction time. There's about 70 to 80 seconds. Okay. Use the instruction time to remember your strategies and look at the topics of parts 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So let me show you what I mean. Today we are going to be looking at this exam from our 6th exam book. Okay. That's why you'll see that this is going to be CD 6 track 1 on the website. Okay. And we will look at part 1 and part 2. So here we have section 1, section 2. They recently changed that to part 1, part 2. So same idea. Okay. And they don't have an example. Since 2020, they stopped giving examples. So they go right into the questions. Okay. Which, it's too bad. I mean, that was a little bit of extra time, but that's fine. IELTS felt it wasn't really helpful to have the example for a lot of students, so it's okay, whatever. So we'll look at that. We'll look at part 2. Now, the instructions are, you'll hear our instructions. So our instructions are like, this material is copyright by World ESL Tutors, 2 Think 1 Solutions. Cambridge does the same. They'll go, this material is copyrighted by ESL Examination Board of the Cambridge University Press. The speaking or the listening has 4 parts. You will have to answer all the questions while you listen. You will not have a second chance to listen. So they go through these instructions. It's about 60 to more. I think it's about 80 seconds, roughly. 80 seconds is a lot. It's like, it's more than a minute. It's like a minute and a quarter. Don't just like listen to the instructions like, oh yeah, that's what I listened to like 100 times when I was doing all my other listening practice. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So don't just like, oh. And the problem with that, by the way, the problem with listening to those instructions over and over and over again is that when you hear them during the exam, and I've heard candidates say this, is they space out. So this is just an important tip. And you're like, well, we haven't even done any listening yet, and Adrian's giving us tips already. But yes, I am. Okay. So one big danger, of the instructions in the listening section is candidates unintentionally, it's not even your fault, it's not because you're wanting to do it, it just happens. Okay, unintentionally means that it's you don't mean to do it. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna sleep here. No, it's actually because you're listening to the instructions so much at home when you're practicing for the IELTS that you start to space out. You're like this. Okay, that's what the brain does. When the brain hears the same situation again and again and again and again, then eventually just kind of turns off, and you do not want to turn your brain off in that 1 minute. Okay, unintentionally turn off their mind and space out when they hear the instructions, because they have heard them so many times. Okay, preparing for the test. The other situation that happens is candidates get way too stressed. So you have the instructions going for 80 seconds and you don't really have to do anything, right? So what are you focused on? Being more stressed. Like, you're like, oh no, this is the real test. Oh my God, this is the real test. Oh, this is the real test. Oh, what am I going to do? What's happening? So you literally start just, you have 80 seconds to freak yourself out. Okay. I know, because I did the test. I've been there. I've taken the IELTS a couple of times for fun, just to see what the student feels. And that's, I felt it. I'm like, oh, I've been teaching the IELTS. I've been writing the IELTS, but this is the real test. This is the real, I can't believe I'm in the real exam, right? So it's like, and then I'm like, no, wait a second. Strategy, people. Strategy. All right. So instead of zoning out and instead of freaking out, okay? So instead of zoning out or freaking out, focus on strategy at the beginning of the listening, and it will set the pace. Why is it so important? Because it's not just the start of the listening exam, it's the start of the whole test, right? You're basically setting the mood for the entire exam. Okay, so instead of zoning out or freaking out, focus on strategy. Okay, so A, visualize. See the information. B, look at the topics of each part. Okay, C, remember your question strategies. All right. All right. Okay. So clear strategy. Don't freak out. Okay, let's look at this. Here, part 1, listening. Complete the form below. Okay, office application. So we can see, all right, this is an office application. It's for town councillor. What is a town councillor? We have town councillor application form. All right. Name, address, city, sure. So here I can see that somebody is applying to be like a counselor, a politician or something. Okay, good. All right, section 2. No more than 2 words. Who pays the salaries of workers? Okay. Sales. Conversion, purchase rate. What point do 2 investors disagree on? Okay. What is the primary? What point do the 2? It's not investors. It's the employees. Let me change that for you. It'll make more sense. Okay. Employees disagree on. Okay, so it's definitely a work related. So here, when I'm going through this, and of course I have 80 seconds, so it's pretty fast. So look at the topics of each part. So part 1, politics, application. Part 2, work discussion. Okay, part 3, well, let's check. Part 3, how many books has the guest written? What description does the guest give his book's thesis? Okay, so interview with an author, right? Part 3. All right, and then part 4. Let's keep going. Part 4, write no more than 2 words for each answer. What phenomenon created the first roads? Okay. Though roads were necessary. Which of these roads? All right, I can pretty much stop there and figure out that part 4 is about roads, history, importance. Okay. All right. Yeah, so there we go. Okay. Now I know what each part is about, and my brain can kind of start working on this. Right now, here we go, everybody. Let's do the listening, and let's answer why we listen, and then we'll talk strategies after. So listen, put answers separately, not in the chat. Okay, and then we will go over the answers and strategies after. After part 1, then part 2. Okay. Blessing, Manhambara, good luck on your test tomorrow. By the way, I know that many of you are doing exams tomorrow, so good luck on that. This is a great way to consider your exam tomorrow with the listening section, the start of listening section. Okay. Peter, at my place, it is 8:46 in the morning. Okay. 8:46 a.m. All right, let's do this. So here is the exam. Let's go back to the very, very beginning. Okay, if you've got headphones or a headset, now's the time to use it. Okay. Again, we're going to hop over to our website that houses all the materials, audio materials. Once more, to sign up for the premium version, click the big red button there. It's a one-time payment, and you get all the exams, all the audio materials. So you can follow along with these classes. We use these websites to power these live lessons. Okay, after I've joined, I have a My Student account. In my My Student account, I have my audio CDs. In my audio CDs, I go to CD 6 because this is exam number 6. Okay. And it's track 1 because it's part 1. Here we go, everybody. Listen and answer. Okay, remember, look at the topics during the instructions, and we're going to practice that right now. Visualize. Okay. All right. Emmanuel just bought the premium package. That's awesome, Emmanuel. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Oh.
This recording is copyrighted by 2 Think One Solutions Inc. and World ESL Tutors. You will hear several different recordings, and you will answer questions on what you hear. There will be time given to read the instructions and questions, and you will be given a chance to check your work. The recordings will be played only once. The test is made up of 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Listening section 1. You will hear a conversation between a man and a woman concerning the requirements of running for municipal office. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5.
This is when you go back to questions 1 to 5, when they say this, you have time to look at questions 1 to 5. Now I look at questions 1 to 5, like the name, the address. I see that I've got missing probably numbers here, date of birth, so year, month, day, phone number, number dictation, right? National insurance number.
You will see that there is an
numbers.
example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Good morning. You've reached the Information Office for Municipal Affairs. This is Florence speaking.
Good morning, Florence. My name is Walter, and I'd like some information on running for municipal office in the upcoming election.
You're in the right place. The first piece of information I'll need from you is the specific office you'd like to run for.
Town councillor, I'd imagine.
The man says he would like to run for town councillor, so this has been indicated for you. Now we begin.
Now remember, you don't have this example anymore.
You should
right?
answer the
So you
questions
just
as you
begin.
listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good morning. You've reached the Information Office for Municipal Affairs. This is Florence speaking.
Good morning, Florence. My name is Walter, and I'd like some information on running for municipal office in the upcoming election.
You're in the right place. The first piece of information I'll need from you is the specific office you'd like to run for.
Town councillor, I'd imagine.
Great. I need some information from you in order to get you on the ballot this September. Are you ready to get started?
Yes, I'm ready.
This should only take a few minutes. OK then, let's start with your surname, Walter.
Colchester. Colchester.
And Walter is spelt in the regular fashion?
Yes, Walter.
OK, next I need your date of birth.
I was born the 11th of December 1979.
The 11th of December 1979 makes you 36 years old at the time of the September elections. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Great. I'll need your national insurance number.
My national insurance number is WC 285-698-33.
WC 285-698-33.
That's right.
Great. And the last pieces of information I need from you are your current address and phone number.
I live at 23 Shaftesbury Lane, Plymouth, and you can reach me on 01752 667 835.
Wonderful. Next, I'll give you some information on running for municipal office.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
First of all, you should know that you're one of 15 candidates so far that have registered for the 4 town councillor positions. Since the deadline for registration is in a week, I do not anticipate this number increasing by more than a candidate or 2. Second, please know that there are 3 all-candidate debates, of which you must attend 2 in order to qualify for office.
I have to participate in debates.
Yes, that's right. They are on the 14th and 28th of August, and the final one is held on the 4th of September. They'll be held at the local community hall on Ashford Street. Each one begins at 6 o'clock in the evening.
That sounds fine. Is there anything else I need to know?
Yes, there is. Do you plan on spending money on your campaign? This could be on adverts in newspapers, promotional signage, or other advertising.
Well, I was planning on taking an ad out in the local paper, yes.
Not a problem, but please keep in mind that there is a strict £2,000 limit on campaign spending for town councillors. All expenses must be reported to this office. Overspending will result in disqualification.
I don't think that should be a problem.
Oh, and one more thing, Mr. Colchester. There is a £50 registration fee for each candidate for town councillor. You may pay this fee over the phone by credit card, with a cheque in the post, or in person with cash, credit or debit. How would you like to pay?
I live right by the office, so I'll drop by this afternoon to pay in person.
My assistant will take care of that for you. I think that is all I need from my end. Do you have any questions?
I don't think so. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome, and good luck.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
Always use that half minute, students, to check the answers. I'm just hopping back to the website. I'm going to stop the audio. By the way, students, to download the app, you can use the QR code there for going through the app. The app also has the audio as well for you. Probably even QR code the video if you want, that we're doing right now. All right, so let's go back and let's go through the answers together. Okay, we'll do it together, and then I'll teach you some strategies for these questions as we're going along. First of all, okay, visualize. So like I said, you have to always see the listening. Okay, when this audio is going, what you should have seen is you should have seen yourself as Mr. Colchester. So Lydia, our member, saying Colchester. In this case, you'd be Ms. Colchester, Lydia, and there you are, beautiful Lydia, nice long hair, right? We'll give her a crown, like a tiara or something. Okay, and Lydia's like, hey, I want to be a town councillor. Here's your skirt, Lydia. I'm going to put a skirt on you, okay? And you are running for office. Lydia's very happy because she's going to be the leader of this town, okay? So you need to be involved. What are you doing to become town councillor, right? You're completing this application, okay? Lydia. Okay. So include yourself, be active. Active listening is super important for good comprehension, okay? First comes the name, right? So when you're listening, form completion, very popular. Practice this at home, okay? On the website, there are lots of CDs that help you learn dictation. So when you're on the website, go to the CDs, go to these bonus CDs that are here, where it's literally training you for dictation, like this one here.
Days of the month. First, second,
all British
third,
accent, of course, very British.
Fourth, fifth.
Okay, so listen to them all. There's lots of them. So listen to all of those dictations. The reason we have that audio for you on the website is to prepare you for listening to dictations on names, birthdays, numbers, months. Okay, so use it. Use the website. You can speed up the audio if you want it to be faster. All right, so number one is Walter Colchester. That's right. And capital C. If you have a small c, you'll get it wrong. Colchester, spelled like that. That is the correct answer, 100%. So if you had that, Nipa, Salma, Sulaiman, Jairon, Blessing, Manhambara, yes. Yeah, Adele, you can use capital letters. Just remember that capital letters are slower. So if you're doing the paper-based exam, use it only when you're transferring your answers to the answer sheet. Okay. All right. Interestingly, the address actually came a bit later. So this one came later. First came the date of birth, the phone number, national insurance number. And I think the last one was the address, maybe the phone number. But date of birth was first. So what was the date of birth? What's number 3? Let's start with that. And when it's form completion, sometimes the answers are like slightly off like that, so don't be surprised. Okay. Samir, you would get it correct. Gurpreet, you would get it correct if the D were a big D. You can't write a small d for December. Okay. Months are proper nouns. So the correct answer for that would be 11 December 1979. Yeah. There you go. So 11 December 1979. That will get you the correct mark. Okay. Phone number. What was Mr. Colchester's phone number? Uma, I think you're way off on that. I'm not sure what happened there, but wrong month, day, and year, Uma. I don't recommend writing 11/12 because it's hard to know which is the day, which is the month. So Yep. Cool man game. Yeah, in forms, when it's form completion, they can jump around a bit like that. Okay. Uma, it's still incorrect. Okay. It would have to be 11/12/1979. Okay. Phone number is definitely not WC, Gurpreet. That would be the national insurance number. What's the phone number? Anybody catch the phone number? Nope. All right. Let's leave it. Who has it? Cool man game. Cool man game. I don't see the phone number. AJ, I don't see your comments. All right. Adele says it started with 01752. Maybe I don't get all of your comments. Remember, students, there are like 172 of us, so I think YouTube might filter some of those phone numbers, and I think YouTube might be auto-filtering phone numbers. It could be for privacy reasons as well, so that could be the reason. So I don't see it on my end. All I see is Adele saying it starts with 01752. Maybe if you try to put it as 2 comments or as words. 01752. Yeah, YouTube, right? We got to consider good old YouTube there. Carolina says, I don't see them either. Yeah, no, we don't see the phone numbers. And my guess is YouTube is saying, hey, no sharing phone numbers. It's a privacy infringement. So that's why we're not letting you do that. Blame YouTube, not us. Okay. All right. It's not like we're deleting them. All right, so 01752. There goes Bizet. Bizet says it's 667-835. If you agree with Bizet, you can just say that looks to be correct. Uma says it's 518380. Okay. Anyway, this looks like it's right. Anonymous says yes, that looks right. Okay. Now the national insurance number. So Gurpreet, national insurance number WC 285-698 285-698 33. All right. All right, everybody. So, yep, YouTube will allow you to send a letter, maybe postal codes and national insurance numbers, but not phone numbers. Interesting. Okay, address. What is the address? And we know it's Shaftesbury Lane and it's Plymouth. So we have the street, we have the city. We just need a number. 23. Yeah. Maybe we can see all of that. Okay, so there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the answers. Again, for dictation, just practice listening to numbers, letters. You have to. Okay, really important. All right. All right. Yeah, Pima, it's not W. It's not like UU. It's W. Yeah. In English, it's not a double V like in many other languages, but it's a W, interestingly. Okay. So now you had a little bit of time, and then it said you got to write no more than 2 words. Fill in this short little form here. Listen carefully. The administrator says there are 3 debates, and we're looking at the second debate. It's very important to pay attention to the given information. So yes, Moronke, 11th December 1979 is correct. Yes. Layla, good luck with your IELTS tomorrow. Okay, so the second debate is the 28th of December? I don't think so. I think it is The 28th of August, yes. From what I remember. Aug. 28. Right? The time is 6 p.m. Yes, you can put 6 p.m. 6 in the evening, right? Or if you don't want to do 6 p.m., you could also do 18 o'clock, like that. Not 1899, but 18 o'clock, like that. Okay? If you want to use the 24-hour clock, that is fine. Just make sure it's accurate. If you write just 6, you'll get it wrong, obviously. So, Shreyansh, 6 o'clock? Nope. Okay. 6 o'clock is wrong, according to the IELTS. Okay. 6 o'clock is wrong, Adele. Because it's 6 in the evening. Lydia, 6 evening is a bit awkward. They might not give that to you. This is the best. Keep it simple, everyone. 6 p.m. or 18 o'clock. Okay? Okay. All right. Number 8. What is the campaign spending limit? Now, here, notice how I changed this to like a quotation. You can spend maximum... Okay, this is the same as this, just a statement, because I know that in the audio, we don't really hear questions. We hear statements. People usually speak in sentences, not in questions. So here, they're saying, okay, it's you can spend this much money, or you can't spend more than this much money. The maximum is this much money. Now they give you the symbol, the pound, so don't include that. IELTS has this weird habit of marking it wrong when you include given information. I guess that makes sense though. So the correct answer here is just 2,000. It's 2,000 pounds, but all you need here is the number 2,000. No pounds, because then it's like pounds. If you write 2,000 pounds, it's like 2,000 pounds. They gave you pounds. Pay attention to the given information. Don't repeat given information. That's especially for the paper-based exam. In the computer-based, it's usually multiple choice, so you don't make that mistake. Okay. Same for the next question. How much is the registration fee you need to pay? And she actually says there is a fee of, 50. Exactly. So just a number here. 50. That's it. That's all you need. Okay. All right. Now choose 3 letters. A to F. Now here, it's hard to look at all of this information. Okay, this is one of those multiple choice. So it's really hard to kind of pay attention to everything that they give you there. So instead of looking at this information, okay, I just take notes. So notice how I wrote down some notes here. So I basically wrote down phone credit, check and post, person cash, check credit. Okay, so direct debit, no. Check by post, yeah, that's there. Okay. Credit in person, person cash, check credit, yeah, that's there. Okay. Cash by post, nope, that's just silly. Credit over the phone, phone credit. Yes. Check over the phone. I did not hear that, and that would be pretty difficult to do. So, correct answers: B, C, E. Based on my notes. My notes will help me a lot here. Okay. So, correct answers: B, C, and E. And if you're doing the paper-based exam, just like that. In fact, the order doesn't matter. You just have to get the 3 right answers, okay? All right. So B, C, E. Okay. Cool. All right. That's section 1. Any questions about section 1? In the meantime, what did you get out of 10? So how did you do? What did you do out of 10? There. Now, section 1 is supposed to be easy, so you should be getting like 9 or 10. Okay. AJ says 9. That's good. Angel says 9. That's good. Sherpa 9. Shreyansh 8. Irani 10. Good. Awana 9. Yeah, you should be 9 or 10. Okay. Hopefully, if you're getting less than 7, you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to check what's going on. Okay. Yeah, Riyadh, 11th December 1979 is correct. Spelled out, but it's long. It takes a lot of time to spell it all out. 11 Debts 1979. It's easier. Okay. All right. It's great. Any questions about the start of the I just bumped my mic. The start of the listening section or the listening section, especially part 1, especially the beginning. Any questions about it? Anything that's not clear? Anything not clear about what I said or what you should do? Yeah, Bizet is asking, can I write 6 p.m. like SIX p.m.? Yeah, you can. It's okay. Fuang says, how can I focus on taking notes while listening? Fuang, that's a really good question. First of all, practice note-taking. Okay? Lots and lots of note-taking before the test. Practice picking out those key words. Definitely. Okay? Right? Now, one way that you also, Fuang, can practice taking notes, like these notes here, okay, is when you have time to review the questions. You should kind of quickly look at these, even if you don't look at each one in detail, but like just kind of read over them, like debit, check, credit, cash. Okay, so I need to take notes on that, right? Blessing, yes, you can write it that way. I usually recommend writing the month just so it's very clear in your head. Okay? But yes, you can write it as numbers. Yes, you're allowed to. Okay? Paramita 6 p.m. Yes. Paramvir, I just covered multiple choice questions. I just talked about it. If you missed it, check the video. Okay? I just spoke about the multiple choice questions with 8, 9, and with question 10 as well. Okay. All right. Students, if you've got more questions, don't be shy. You can always send an email, right? I'll show you my email real quick again. So you can always send me an email here, right? And many of your questions will be answered on our websites as well, especially in the premium version of the course, right? So for general IELTS students, click those big red buttons. Same on the academic page. We'll use that for part 2 right now. Okay, so let's go to listening part 2. Same idea, everybody. Listening part 2. There's a big jump in the difficulty between part 1 and part 2. So in my opinion, the biggest jump in the challenge between part 1 and or any of the listening parts is part 1 to part 2. So part 1 is, I think, quite a bit easier than part 2, and then part 2, part 3, part 4, in my opinion, they're quite similar in difficulty. Okay, maybe part 4 is a bit more difficult, but some people say part 3 is. So okay, all right, so let's get into part 2. Okay, get focused, everybody. Part 2, same idea. Don't put your answers into the chat. Save them for after. We'll go over them together. Here we go. Let's do it. So we know it's going to be some kind of work-related meetings and such, okay? All right.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening Section 2. You will hear a recording of 3 people discussing strategy for an upcoming meeting with investors. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
Thank you both for coming in for this preparatory meeting. As you know, we have an extremely important meeting with our investors next week. While I'm more than confident in the work we have done over the past year, we must be prepared to justify our progress to our investors. After all, they are the ones who pay our salaries. First, I want to review the positive outcomes we've achieved over the past year. This will make up the bulk of our presentation. Amy, would you like to give us a rundown on this front?
Sure. We've achieved many positive outcomes over the past year, and furthermore, we've achieved more in the past 4 months than in the previous 8 months. So we're certainly showing significant progress. First, and most important, sales of our app are up 50% from last year, totalling 586,000 units in the past 12 months, up from 390,000 units in the previous year. This is great progress. Second, we're achieving a higher purchase rate. While our sales are up 50%, the number of total downloads has remained relatively constant. This means our conversion rate has increased 50% as well. This clearly demonstrates that our efforts in this area have been fruitful. By targeting the conversion rate instead of the raw download rate, we have raised our standing and search result priority within the application stores. This will eventually lead to a higher download rate and even more sales. The upward trajectory here is very clear. We have also decreased the complaint rate from 2.5% to 1.5%. While our goal is to get this rate as close to zero as possible, this decrease represents a positive outcome and shows that our efforts to increase customer satisfaction have been successful.
Yes, but if I may interrupt, I actually have to disagree on one point. I don't believe it should be a goal to get the complaints rate down to zero. While we certainly don't want a high complaint rate, the resources spent on getting the complaint rate down are better spent on increasing downloads and increasing the conversion rate. I think this is an important point to be made to the investors. While we certainly value the quality of our product, we are much more focused on maximising the value of the investor's investment. I think such a tack will go over well with the investors.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
That's a great point. We really want to emphasize that we are doing everything we can to optimize and maximize the money and resources we've been supplied with. Speaking of which, are we all agreed that we will be asking for 20% increase in operating budget?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. And how are we going to justify such an increase?
Well, certainly by pointing to the statistical outcomes you previously referenced, but also by our need to expand. We need to increase our catalogue of apps, and to do this we will need to hire at least 2 additional developers. In addition to this, I think we are now at the point in our business where hiring a market analyst would be justified. Such a person could be charged with finding niches to exploit within the market. Right now, our operations in this regard are rudimentary at best, and an expert in the field could help increase our sales volume significantly. Such an expert's salary might take up 5% of our operating budget, but could lead to a 10% increase in sales or more. The 5% difference would result in a net income increase of almost £100,000.
I agree. Hiring a market analyst is long overdue. One more justification for a budget increase is an across-the-board pay rise, if only at the rate of inflation. 2%, say. This would go a long way to increasing worker morale and output quality. In addition to this,
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, let's just stop that audio and jump back to the answers. We'll go over the answers together. So some more multiple choice here and fill in the blanks. We've got table completion here. Okay, number 11, who pays the salaries of the workers in the recording? Now, we can tell that the manager here, the person leading this meeting, says we need to, talk to these people. They're the ones who pay us. Ria Irani says it's the investors. Very good, Ria and Irani. It is. Okay. So, investors. Great. Yeah, the investors pay the salaries of this company, and it's a small I, and it's an S plural. It's not just one investor, Angel. It's investors. Yeah, so that S is important, Angel, for sure. Okay. Sales. Current year, Alexander, very good. Alexander says 586,000 units. Yes, excellent. I'm glad you caught that. Irani, very good. 586,000. You can do 1,000 like that. Yeah, or you could just do 000 like that. Okay? And if you had units, that's fine too. Yeah. The safe bet is to put the word units in there. Okay, very good. Nice. All of you caught that. That's great. 586,000 units, up 50% from the previous year. Very good. Okay, downloads, current year not given, change from previous year constant. Now, when you see this, students, here's an important tip, okay? So, when you see this information, right, this is important, right? Because you realize that, oh, okay, I'm going to have a bit of time here. So this information allows you to position yourself in the audio, know that, okay, now is when they're talking about downloads. I don't have to answer any questions on this topic. This gives me a little bit of time to pay attention to what's going to be coming, conversions, complaint rates, and really pay attention to some key information here, which is the percentages. Okay, everybody following my logic there? So here we have given information. So we know that they're going to spend at least a few seconds discussing the topic of downloads, and I don't have to answer any questions on that topic. So I have a bit of time to catch up and pay attention to what's coming. Okay? Timing strategy is very important for maximizing scores in the listening section, and this is a really good timing strategy when you see that there's given information. Does everybody get that? Fong says yes. Adele says yes. Yes, you're not buying time in this case, Adele. The audio is buying you time. Okay. All right. So, and you pay attention to these details, right? The percent signs are very important. You realize that, oh, okay, afterwards they're going to be really just talking about percents here. So, and don't write percent. Okay. So number 13, what's the answer? Okay, number 13. Yeah, 50 only. They have the percent. They give you the symbol. So don't write percent, okay? So just 50. That's it. So collude, Bamas, only the 50, right? AJ, only the 50. Okay, complaint rate. It's 1.5%, and it's down how much? This was a bit of a tricky one. Number 14. It's not 2.5. Pima Lydia Fuang, very good. It was 1. Exactly. Right? Because it's the change from previous year. This is where you have to really be careful. right? This was evil. Careful with those little math questions, right? So they say last year it was 2.5%. This year it's 1.5%. So 2.5 minus 1.5 equals 1. Right? Simple math, but you have to pay attention. Okay. A lot of you got it. It's really good. 2 thumbs up for all of those who got it. Black Panther, very good. Blessings, very good. Mara, nice. Dustin, good job. Okay. Yep. Pima, exactly. It says previous year changed to current year. Okay. Number 15. What point do the 2 employees disagree on? They disagree, and you hear the man say it. The man says, I disagree with that. A, ways to increase conversion rates. B, how to convince investors to increase funding. C, getting the complaint rate as low as possible. What did they disagree on? It was quite clear when you heard it. The person was like, I disagree on that. Some of you say A. Some of you say B. Zachariah is correct. C. So the woman says, I think we need to focus on getting the complaint rate as low as possible. And the man says, I disagree on that. I think we have to focus more on increasing conversion rates. So they disagree on getting the complaint rate as low as possible. C. Okay. They don't disagree on the other 2. Okay. That was C. The woman says we should focus on the complaint rate. Oh, Black Panther says, tons of thanks. You helped me to pass my IELTS exam. You're very welcome, Black Panther. Hey, Black Panther, send me an email with your picture. We'd love to use your testimonial. Okay, so please send me an email with a picture of you to admin@aehelp.com. Okay. Oh, thanks, Carolina. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. All right. Number 16. Yeah, Black Panther, you've been with us for a few months for sure. It's cool. Okay. Number 16. What is of primary importance according to the employees? Most importantly. So if you got 15 right, then you'll get 16 right. Is it maximizing the value of investors' investment, increasing the funding of their companies to hire new people, convincing the company to increase downloads and raise the conversion rates? A, maximizing investment. It's basically maximizing ROI. Maximize ROI, you maximize investment, right? If you think about it, that's logical too, right? Don't forget, students, logic is your friend. Should be like a motto in the logic is your friend. There should be shirts. Shirts with that. Logic is your friend. Logic. If you have a company, if you can maximize the investor's money, your company is growing. You are growing. The company is doing well, right? So logic makes sense. Everybody, investors are happy. Everybody's happy. Investors keep investing. Company keeps growing. Company pays investors. Investors pay back the company or give more into the company, right? It's a nice little kind of circle. Absolutely, Adele. Yeah. Everybody's happy, right? Logic is your friend. I'm going to make shirts like that. I'm going to make a note. You'll be able to buy shirts like that on the website. Logic is your friend. I want to do some cool shirts for our website. We did some IELTS shirts before. People just don't want to wear shirts that have IELTS on it. So maybe we'll do some shirts that actually have a valuable message for everybody, like critical thinking is key. Logic is your friend. Would you buy a shirt? Hey, let me ask you, if we had a really kind of fun, cool shirt where it said like logic is your friend, would you buy it? Or would you be like, nah, that's just cheesy. I'd never wear a shirt that says logic is your friend. If you'll wear it, we'll make it. Ansel says, AJ says, I want a shirt with your picture. You know what, AJ? Maybe we'll do that. All right, we'll do a shirt with my picture. Okay, let me know what you want on those shirts. Okay. All right. Let's finish this, students. Let's do it. So we've got the summary completion. Complete the summary. Here we go. Write no more than 2 words. Really pay attention to those instructions. Okay. All right. Here we go. The employees are requesting a 20% something in funding from the investors. This was a pretty easy one. Sometimes you really don't need to overthink these. Alexander says the word was simply increase. Yes, it was, Alexander, and you're correct. The word is increase. Increase in funding from the investors. Yeah. Yeah, just simply 20% increase in funding. This will allow the company to hire 2 additional. So 2 is plural, right? So who are they hiring, or what are they hiring? Fuang, very good. Lydia, good. Ria, sorry, good. Developers. Yes, developers. Okay, that was the correct answer there. Who will allow the company to broaden their catalog of apps. The keywords were here was hire, right? They kept saying hire, hire, hire. Okay, pay attention to those controlling words. Allow the company to broaden their catalog of apps. They would also like to hire, who do they want to hire? It's not a marketer. I know, Dustin Angel, it's a tricky one because there are so many different jobs that start with market. It's a market analyst. It's somebody who analyzes the market and gives reports and instructions on product design, advertising to target specific markets. So it's called a market analyst. Yeah, this was the more challenging one. Usually these summary completion, you have a couple that are like fairly easy, and then you have a couple that are like you really have to listen. Okay, market analyst, who would be in charge of finding new areas for development. Finally, the team wants a pay raise pegged. Pegged here means matching. Okay, if this is a new word for you, matching. Okay, in this context, it means matching. Pegged means to peg, to tie or to connect to match to. The rate of, it's not 2%, AJ. This was again one of those trickier ones. It's not 2%. It's not 5%. It's not income. It's not a number. It's a word. That's the tricky part here. It's not 100,000 pounds. Yeah, it's the rate of inflation. Okay, was the correct word there. 2% was just an example. Okay. So 2% was just an example. It's the rate of inflation. Bizet, multiple choice questions. Your exam is tomorrow. You're really suffering. Let me help Bizet out here while you count up your marks. So students, count up your marks, and I'm going to give Bizet a little bit more help with the multiple choice questions. Let me know what you got out of 20. Okay, in the ideal world, you're getting 16 or more out of 20. Bizet, here are the 2 big tips for multiple choice. Okay, so we've got 2 multiple choice questions here. Okay. Bizet, the big mistake that you might be making and that a lot of students make is they focus on the answers. They're staring at the answers. Ways to increase, how to convince investors, getting complaint. It's too much information. When you're listening to the audio, there's too much information, so you can't be staring at the choices. Okay? So the big mistake with multiple choice is that students stare at the choices. That's hard even for a native speaker who is very good with English. Even, let's say for me, it's very hard to get multiple choice answers correct when I'm just looking at the choices, okay? So for multiple choice questions, do not stare at the choices. Okay. Don't expect the answer to just pop out. It's not going to happen. It might work for part 1, where the choices are really simple and easy and quick, but it won't work for part 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Are you following me so far, Bizet? So instead, this is what you need to do. Look at the question carefully and paraphrase it into a statement. Okay? So when I see the question, what point do the two employees disagree on? Think about what they will say. Like, they will say something like they disagree, or more importantly, one of them will say, I disagree with you. Because we need to focus on. Okay, and in the real exam, I don't have to write it down. I just think about this in my head, Bizet. I'm like, okay, for this question, they'll probably say something like, I disagree with you, so, or I don't agree with you on that, or I beg to differ, right? So some kind of English expression or words that means that I'm disagreeing, okay? So I'd like to argue with you about that, okay? Bizet, does that make sense? Okay, and then listen for the answer. Listen for the answer. And the answer repeat, especially in part 1 and 2, they tend to repeat the answers for multiple choice questions a lot. Okay, Bizet, are you following me? So they'll often say, I disagree with you that we need to focus on complaint rates. I don't think we need to worry about getting complaint rates down. And I believe they actually did say that twice in this case. Okay, so listen for the answer, and then you can even take notes. Okay. All right. So that's what you need to do. That's the best strategy, Bizet. Okay. Don't underline keywords. Don't circle keywords. Focus on the question. Change it into a statement. Think about what you will hear and focus on the answer. Okay. All right. Process of elimination will not work. Okay, Bizet. Process of elimination is the last strategy. It doesn't work, especially in the listening, because it's too fast. You don't have enough time. You'll lose all the other answers. So logic is good, Bizet. Logic is good. So use logic. Use the process of elimination as a last strategy. Okay, it's too slow for the listening. It might work a bit better for the reading multiple choice answers or questions, but not for the listening. So process of elimination, way too slow, and it's not an effective strategy for the listening section in the IELTS. Okay. All right. The reason why some of your tutors are telling you that is because they're just reading it somewhere also. They're not actually using it. Okay. The proof is in the pudding, everybody. So, I mean, if you look at this question, how would you do a process of elimination? Because A makes sense, B makes sense, C kind of makes sense too. So there's nothing to eliminate. And with a lot of questions in parts 3 and 4 especially, there is no elimination. A lot of them can make sense. Process of elimination works in high school type multiple choice questions where you have one wrong answer and one right answer and 3 wrong answers. IELTS often is more like a college type multiple choice. So this will make it clear. It's like, don't listen to me, don't listen to your teacher, listen to logic. Okay, let me explain this to you clearly. Okay, so process of elimination, also called process of deduction, okay, works on high school. Not even high school. A lot of grade 12 is different now, but works on high school multiple choice, where you have one clearly correct answer and one wrong answer, and 3 wrong answers. Okay, but it does not work at the college or university level multiple choice questions because you have several correct answers, and this includes IELTS band 789 as well. Okay, several correct answers or seemingly correct answers, and you have to choose the best one. And the proof is in the pudding. Again, you'll see, I'm sure you've done many Cambridge IELTS exams where it says so for reading, for example, it'll say what statement best describes the aim of the author. Okay, that's a typical multiple choice question that exemplifies what I just said. Does that make sense, right? So the process of elimination is not very effective when you have multiple seemingly correct answers. It's hard to eliminate that. Does that make sense? Everybody got that? Yeah? Okay. And then you just get confused. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's see. What were your marks for this? So let's get back to the target here. How did you do? Okay. So at the end of the day, you just need to know the correct answer, right? Angel, 16. That's great. That's very good. 16. Yeah, you want to get at least 16, AJ. That's good. Sherpa, 18. Fantastic. Johan, 20 out of 20. Beautiful. Nicely done. All right. Again, students, this was the website audio at aehelp.com that we just used. And really all you need to do to get access to all of our materials is to click this big red button there and join the premium version of the course. It's right above my head. One-time payment, lifetime access, general IELTS students, listening is the same. GIELTShelp.com, click the big red button. You're good to go. Academic students, aehelp.com, click the big red button. You're good to go. Okay? That's all. And then you are learning in a correct way. Carolina, thank you so much. I see that you had a bit of work there keeping the chat clean and focused and working in the right way. So thank you for that. Thank you to our chat moderator. These classes wouldn't go as smoothly without it. So I appreciate your efforts, members. Great effort today. Way to focus. Thank you, subscribers. You're doing fantastic. Okay. Have an awesome rest of the day. Tomorrow, we're back here with Speaking Part 2, Speaking Part 3. Until then, use the websites. Use them every day for a couple hours. It will help with not only your IELTS, but also your English and your communication skills. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada, and I hope that you have a lovely start to your weekend wherever you are in the world. You're all amazing individuals. Keep that in mind, especially in those moments when life can be a bit challenging. Bye for now, everybody. See you tomorrow.